Professor Zhang for his briefing. I shall now make a statement in my capacity as the Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. This is a historic meeting, the first discussion of artificial intelligence at the UN Security Council. Since the early development of artificial intelligence by pioneers like Alan Turing and Christopher Strachey, this technology has advanced with ever greater speed. Yet, the biggest AI-induced transformations are still to come. Their scale is impossible for us to comprehend fully, but the gains to humanity will surely be immense. AI will fundamentally alter every aspect of human life. Groundbreaking discoveries in medicine may be just around the corner. The productivity boosts to our economies may be vast, and AI may help us adapt to climate change, beat corruption, revolutionize education, and deliver the Sustainable Development Goals and reduce violent conflict. But we are here today because AI will affect the work of this Council. It could enhance or disrupt global strategic stability. It challenges our fundamental assumptions about defence and deterrence. It poses moral questions about accountability for lethal decisions on the battlefield. There can already be no doubt that AI changes the speed, scale, and spread of disinformation with hugely harmful consequences for democracy and stability. AI could aid the reckless quest for weapons of mass destruction by state and non-state actors alike. But it could also help us stop proliferation. That's why we urgently need to shape the global governance of transformative technologies, because AI knows no borders. The UK's vision is founded on 4 irreducible principles. Open. AI should support freedom and democracy. Responsible. AI should be consistent with the rule of law and human rights. Secure. AI should be safe and predictable by design, safeguarding property rights, privacy, and national security. And resilient. AI should be trusted by the public, and critical systems must be protected. The UK's approach builds on existing multilateral initiatives, such as the AI for Good Summit in Geneva, or the work of UNESCO, or the OECD, and the G20. Institutions like the Global Partnership for AI, the G7's Hiroshima process, the Council of Europe, and the International Telecommunications Union are all important partners. Pioneering AI companies will also need to work with us so that we can capture the gains and minimize the risks to humanity. No country will be untouched by AI, so we must involve and engage the widest coalition of international actors from all sectors. The UK is home to many of the world's trailblazing AI developers and foremost AI safety researchers. So this autumn, the UK plans to bring together world leaders for the first major global summit on AI safety. Our shared goal will be to consider the risks of AI and decide how they can be reduced through coordinated action. Momentous opportunities on a scale that we can barely imagine lie before us. We must seize these opportunities and grasp the challenges of AI, including those for international peace and security, decisively, optimistically, and from a position of global unity on essential principles. There is a tide in the affairs of men which, taken at the flood, leads to fortune. In that spirit, let us work together to ensure peace and security as we pass across the threshold of an unfamiliar world. I now resume my function as President of the Council. I now give the floor to His Excellency, Mr. Shunsuke Takai, State Minister for Foreign Affairs of Japan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I commend your initiative to take up AI in the Security Council. This will be a good beginning for future global discussion. I also thank the Secretary General and the other briefers. AI is changing the world. AI has transformed human life. Its speed, potential, and risk go beyond our imagination and national borders. We are being tested at this historical juncture. Can we have the mind of self-discipline to control it? Mr. President, my political belief is instead of worrying, deal with it. I believe that the key to take on a challenge is twofold: human-centric and trustworthy AI. Human beings can and should control AI to enhance human potential, not the other way around. Let me 2 points. First, the human-centric AI. The development of AI should be consistent with our democratic values and fundamental human rights. AI should not be a tool of rulers, but should be placed under the rule of law. The military use of AI is a case in point. It should be responsible, transparent, and based on international law. Japan will continue to contribute to the international rule-making process of the laws in the CCW. Second, trustworthy AI. AI can be more trustworthy with a wide range of stakeholders included the process. I believe that this is where its convening power of the UN can make a difference and bring together wisdom from around the world. Last month, Japan led the discussion at the UN on the misuse of AI by terrorists by hosting a side event with UNOCT and UNICURI. Japan is also proud to have to launch the G7 Hiroshima AI process this year and to contribute to the global discussion on generative AI. Mr. President, the Security Council and the UN can update its existing toolkits through the use of AI. First, we should consider how the active use of AI can enhance the efficiency and the transparency of this council in its decision-making and working method. We welcome the effort of the Secretariat to utilize AI for mediation and peace-building activities. Moreover, we can make the UN work more efficiently and effectively through AI-based early warning systems for the conflict, sanction implementation monitoring, and countermeasures against disinformation on peace operations. Let me conclude by expressing our willingness and activity participate in the discussion on AI at the UN and beyond. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank His Excellency Mr. Takai for his statement. I now give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Manuel Goncalves, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of the Republic of Mozambique.
Mr. President, Mr. Secretary General of the United Nations, Your Excellencies and distinguished members of the Council, Mozambique warmly congratulates the United Kingdom for its brilliant presidency and for convening this timely and important debate on artificial intelligence, opportunities and risks for international peace and security. We wish to convey our gratitude to His Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, for his insightful remarks. We thank the briefers for their thoughtful and pertinent contributions. Mr. President, allow me to begin with a candidate disclosure. This statement was made solely by humans and not by generative artificial models like the well-known ChatGPT. This disclosure is important. It unveils some of the axios surrounding the rapid advancement in AI. Especially, we are approaching a point where a digital machine can now execute tasks that, for the majority of human existence, were exclusively with the realm of human intelligence. The recent acceleration in both the power and visibility of AI systems, along with the increased awareness of their capacity and limitation, has sparked concern that technologies is advancing at such a rapid pace that it may no longer be safely controllable. This caution is warranted. While recently advancement in AI present immense opportunity to enhance various fields such as speech making, medicine, warfare, through democratization of innovation, certain models have also exhibited capability that surpass the understanding and control of their creators. This poses risks on various kinds, including the potential of catastrophic outcomes. Indeed, we should take heed of cautionary tale of the sources of apprentice. As AI engineers increasingly and convincingly imitated, and in some cases even surpass, various behaviors associated with human beings, they have become an ideal tool for spreading misinformation, scamming individuals, engage in academic cheating, deceitfully initiate conflicts, recruiting terrorists, sowing division, and perpetrating numerous other nefarious activities. AI models have evolved in a self-programming machine capable of automating their learning process through continuous loop of self-improvement. This necessitates the establishment of robust governance structure that aim to mitigate the risk of accidents and misuse while still fostering innovation, harnessing the potential of positive outcomes. Mr. President, as currently stated in concept note for this briefing, artificial intelligence technology possesses the potential to profoundly transform our society, having a multitude of positive effects. AI can contribute to eradicate disease, combat climate change, and currently predict natural disasters, making it a valuable ally for the global south. Similarly, by revealing the extensive database generated by organizations like SEAD, regional organization, and wide UN system, which adhere to rigorous standards of quality control source and member state involvement, we have the potential to enhance early warning capability, customizing mediation effort, and strengthening strategic communication in peacekeeping, among other various examples. AI can be a valuable tool in enhancing this vast data for the benefit of these endeavors. Mr. President, faced with the opportunity and threat posed by using artificial intelligence, the Republic of Mozambique recognizes the importance as a member state of the United Nations of adopting a balanced approach. It encompasses the following aspects. First, in the event that credible evidence emerges indicating that AI poses an existential risk, it is crucial to negotiate an intergovernmental treaty to govern and monitor its use. Second, it is essential to develop relevant regulation and appropriate legislation to safeguard privacy and data security. This entails ensuring that all relevant actors, including government and companies, provide digital technology, utilize artificial intelligence in ethical and responsible manner while respecting the principle outlined in Article 12 of the Universal Declaration for Human Rights and Article 17 on International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights. Third, the Global Digital Pact should be promoted, facilitating the sharing of technological knowledge between advanced countries and those in the early stage of AI development. This collaborative effort between AI specialists, governments, companies, and civil society aims to mitigate the risk of misuse and foster responsible AI practice. Mr. President, in conclusion, it is important to recognize that the impetus required for AI are not disconnected from the real world. The necessary resources such as data, computer power, electricity, skills, and technological infrastructure are not evenly distributed across the globe. By striking a balance between the advantage of AI and the essential safeguards in place, we are ensured that AI does not become a source of conflicts that reinforce inequalities and asymmetries, potentially posing threats to global peace and security. This approach aims to harness the potential of AI while actively mitigating any negative consequences that may arise. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank His Excellency, Mr. Gonçalves, for his statement. I now give the floor to His Excellency, Mr. Omran Sharaf, Assistant Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation for Advanced Science and Technology of the United Arab Emirates.
I will begin by thanking Secretary-General Guterres for his attentive remarks today. Thank you to Foreign Secretary Cleverly and the UK Presidency for bringing such a salient topic to the Council for discussion. I would also like to thank our other briefers for their illuminating statements. Mr. President, how we negotiate the threats and opportunities for artificial intelligence is fast becoming one of the defining questions of our time. 5 years ago, the UAE and Switzerland brought forward a proposal to Secretary-General Guterres to establish a deliberative group to consider this very question. Under the Secretary-General's leadership, the high-level panel on digital cooperation was created, and it was clear for their deliberations that technologies such as AI could no longer go unchecked. Computation processing power has followed Moore's law, doubling every 18 months since the dawn of the computer age. Not anymore. AI development is now outpacing Moore's law and moving at breakneck speed, and governments are unable to keep up. This is the wake-up call we need. It is time to be optimistic realists when it comes to AI, not just for assessing the threats this technology poses to international peace and security, but to harness the opportunities it offers. To this end, I will make 4 brief points today. First, we must establish rules of the road. There is a brief window of opportunity available now where key stakeholders are willing to unite and consider the guardrails for this technology. Member states should pick up the mantle from the Secretary General and establish commonly agreed upon rules to govern AI before it's too late. They should include mechanisms to prevent AI tools from promoting hatred, misinformation, and disinformation that can fuel extremism and exacerbate conflict. As with other cyber technologies, the use of AI should be firmly guided by international law, since international law continues to apply in cyberspace. But we must also recognize that strategies may need to be adopted so that we can effectively apply the conventional principles of international law in the rapidly evolving context of AI development. Second, artificial intelligence should become a tool to promote peace building and the de-escalation of conflicts, not a threat multiplier. AI-driven tools have the potential to more effectively analyze vast amount of data, trends, and patterns. That translates to an increased ability to detect terrorist activity in real time and predicting how the adverse effects of climate change may impact peace and security. It also paves the way for limiting the misattribution of attacks, as well as ensuring response in conflict settings as proportionate. At the same time, we must be aware of the potential misapplication of this technology in targeting critical infrastructure and fabricating false narratives to fuel tensions and incite violence. Third, the biases of the real world should not be replicated by AI. Decades of progress on the fight against discrimination, especially gender discrimination towards women and girls, as well as against persons with disabilities, will be undermined if we do not ensure that an AI that is inclusive. The high-level panel on digital cooperation was clear in stating that an inclusive digital economy and society was a priority action for immediate attention. Any opportunity that AI offers can only be a true opportunity if it is based on the principle of equality, both in its design and access. Fourth, we must avoid over-regulating AI in a way that hinders innovation. The creativity, research, and development activities occurring in the context of AI taking place in emerging nations are critical for the sustainable growth and development of those nations. To maintain this, emerging countries need flexibility and agile regulations. We should nurture a sector that encourages responsible behavior using smart, effective, and efficient regulations and guidelines, and avoid too rigid rules that can hamper the evolution of this technology. Mr. President, throughout history, major shifts and leaps forward have often followed moments of major crisis. The creation of the United Nations and the Security Council following the Second World War speaks to this very fact. When it comes to AI, let's not wait for the moment of crisis. It's high time to get ahead of the curve and shape an AI arena that is geared towards preserving international peace and security. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank His Excellency, Mr. Sharaf, for his statement. I now give the floor to the representative of China.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, China welcomes you to preside over today's Security Council meeting and thanks Secretary General Guterres for his briefing. Many of his insights deserves our study. I would also like to thank Professor Zheng Yi and Professor Jack Clark for their briefings. Their insights can help us better understand and handle issues related to AI. In recent years, the world has witnessed a rapid development and wide application of AI, with complex effects constantly emerging. On the one hand, the empowering role of AI in areas such as scientific research, healthcare, autonomous driving, smart decision making is becoming increasingly prominent, generating huge technological dividends. On the other hand, the scope of AI application has been constantly expanding, causing increasing concerns in areas such as data privacy, spreading false information, exacerbating social inequality, and disrupting employment structures. In particular, the misuse or abuse of AI by terrorist or extremist forces will pose a significant threat to the international peace and security. At present, as a cutting-edge technology, AI is still in its early stage of development. As a double-edged sword, whether it is good or bad, good or evil, depends on how mankind utilized it, regulate it, and how we balance scientific development with security. The international community should uphold the true spirit of multilateralism, engaged in extensive dialogue, constantly seek consensus, and explore the development of guiding principles for AI governance. We support the central coordinating role of the UN in this regard and support the Secretary General Guterres' efforts in holding discussions amongst all parties, as well as the full participation of all countries, especially developing countries, in participating in this cause and making their own contributions. I would like to make some preliminary observations. First, we should adhere to the principle of putting ethics first. The potential impacts of AI may exceed human cognitive boundaries. To ensure that this technology always benefits humanity, it is necessary to take people-oriented and AI for good as the basic principles to regulate the development of AI and to prevent this technology from turning into a runaway wild horse. Based on these two guidelines, efforts should be made to gradually establish and improve ethical norms, laws, and regulations and policy systems for AI, while allowing countries to establish AI governance systems that are in line with their own national conditions, based on their own development stages and social and cultural characteristics. Second, adhere to safety and controllability. There are many uncertainties in the development and application of AI-related technologies, and safety is the bottom line that must be upheld. The international community needs to enhance risk awareness, establish effective risk warning and response mechanisms, ensure that risks beyond human control do not occur, and ensure that autonomous machine killing does not occur. We need to strengthen the detection and evaluation of the entire life cycle of AI, ensuring that mankind has the ability to press the pause button at critical moments. Leading technology enterprises should clarify the responsible parties, establish a sound accountability mechanism, and avoid developing or using risky technologies that may have serious negative consequences. Thirdly, we must adhere to fairness and inclusiveness. The impact of AI on science and technology is worldwide and revolutionary. Equal access and utilization of AI technology products and services by developing countries are crucial to bridging the technological, digital, and development divide between the North and the South. The international community should work together to ensure that developing countries equally enjoy the development dividends brought by AI technology and continuously enhance their representation and voice in this field. Certain developed countries, in order to seek technological hegemony, make efforts to build their exclusive small clubs and maliciously obstruct the technological development of other countries and artificially create technological barriers. China firmly opposes these behaviors. Fourthly, adhere to openness and inclusiveness. The development of science and technology needs to achieve a relative balance between technological progress and safe applications. The best path is to maintain open cooperation, encourage interdisciplinary, inter-industrial, inter-regional, and cross-border exchanges and dialogues, and oppose various forms of exclusive clubs and decoupling and disconnection. We need to promote coordination and interaction among international organizations, government departments, research and educational institutions, enterprises, and the public in the field of AI development and governance under the UN framework, and jointly create an open, inclusive, just, and non-discriminatory environment for scientific and technological development. Fifth, adhere to peaceful utilization. The fundamental purpose of developing AI technology is to enhance the common well-being of humanity. Therefore, it is necessary to focus on exploring the potential of AI in promoting sustainable development, promoting cross-disciplinary integration and innovation, and better empowering the global development cause. The Security Council could focus on the application and impact of AI in conflict situations to enrich the toolkit of the UN for peace. AI in the military field may lead to major changes in the way of warfare and the format of war. All countries should uphold a responsible defense policy, oppose the use of AI to seek military hegemony or to undermine the sovereignty and territorial integrity of other countries, and avoid the abuse in unintentional misuse or even intentional misuse of AI weapon systems. Mr. President, today's discussion on AI highlights the importance, necessity, and urgency of building a community of shared future for mankind. China adhere to the concept of community of shared future for mankind and have actively explored the scientific path of AI development and governance in all fields. In 2017, the Chinese government issued the New Generation Artificial Intelligence Development Plan, which clearly lay out basic principles such as technology, leadership, system layout, market leadership, open source, and openness. In recent years, China has continuously improved relevant laws and regulations, ethical norms, intellectual property standards, safety monitoring, and evaluation measures to ensure the healthy and orderly development of AI. China has always participated in global cooperation and governance in AI with a highly responsible attitude. As early as 2021, China hosted the Impact of Emerging Technologies on International Peace and Security Area Conference during its presidency of the Security Council. For the first time, bringing the Council's attention to emerging technology such as AI. China has successfully submitted 2 position papers on military application of AI and its ethical governance on UN platforms, offering systematic proposals from the perspective of strategic security, military policy, legal ethics, technological security, rulemaking, and international cooperation. Last February, the Chinese government released the Global Security Initiative concept paper, which clearly stated that China is willing to strengthen communication and exchange with the international community on AI security governance, promote the establishment of an international mechanism for universal participation, and form a governance framework and standard with broad consensus. We stand ready to work with the international community to actively implement the Global Development Initiative, Global Security Initiative, and Global Civilization Initiative proposed by President Xi Jinping. In the field of AI, we will continue to prioritize development, maintain common security, promote cross-cultural exchanges and cooperation, and work with other countries to share the benefit of AI while jointly prevent and respond to risks and challenges. I thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of China for their statement. And I now give the floor to the representative of the United States.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you to the UK for convening this discussion, and thank you to the Secretary General, Mr. Jack Clark, and Professor Yi Zhang for your valuable insights. Mr. President, artificial intelligence offers incredible promise to address global challenges, such as those related to food security, education, and medicine. Automated systems are already helping to grow food more efficiently, predict storm paths, and identify diseases in patients, and thus, used appropriately, AI can accelerate progress toward achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. AI, however, also has the potential to compound threats and intensify conflicts, including by spreading mis- and disinformation, amplifying bias and inequality, enhancing malicious cyber operations, and exacerbating human rights abuses. We therefore welcome this discussion to understand how the Council can find the right balance between maximizing AI's benefits while mitigating its risks. This Council already has experience addressing dual-use capabilities and integrating transformative technologies into our efforts to maintain international peace and security. As those experiences have taught us, success comes from working with a range of actors, including member states, technology companies, and civil society activists, through the Security Council and other UN bodies, and in both formal and informal settings. The United States is committed to doing just that and has already begun such efforts at home. On May 4th, President Biden met with leading AI companies to underscore the fundamental responsibility to ensure AI systems are safe and trustworthy. These efforts build on the work of the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, which recently released an AI risk management framework to provide organizations with a voluntary set of guidelines to manage risks from AI systems. Through the White House's October 2022 blueprint for an AI Bill of Rights, we are also identifying principles to guide the design, use, and deployment of automated systems so rights, opportunities, and access to critical resources or services are enjoyed equally and are fully protected. We are now working with a broad group of stakeholders to identify and address AI-related human rights risks that threaten to undermine peace and security. No member state should use AI to censor, constrain, repress, or disempower people. Military use of AI can and should also be ethical, responsible, and enhance international security. Earlier this year, the United States released a proposed political declaration on responsible military use of AI and autonomy, which elaborates principles on how to develop and use AI in the military domain in compliance with applicable international law. The proposed declaration highlights that military use of AI capabilities must be accountable to a human chain of command, and that states should take steps to minimize unintended bias and accidents. We encourage all member states to endorse this proposed declaration. Here at the UN, we welcome efforts to develop and apply AI tools that improve our joint efforts to deliver humanitarian assistance, provide early warning for issues as diverse as climate change or conflict, and further other shared goals. The International Telecommunication Union's recent AI for Good Global Summit represents one step in that direction. Within the Security Council, we welcome continued discussions on how technological advancements, including when and how to take action to address governments or non-states actors' misuse of AI technologies to undermine international peace and security. We must also work together to ensure AI and other emerging technologies are not used primarily as weapons or tools of oppression, but rather as tools to enhance human dignity and help us achieve our highest aspirations, including for a more secure and peaceful world. The United States looks forward to working with all relevant parties to ensure the responsible development and use of trustworthy AI systems serves the global good. I thank you.
I thank the representative of the United States. I now give the floor to the representative of Brazil.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, dear colleagues, I thank the Secretary General for his briefing today and for joining us in the briefing. I also thank Mr. Jack Clark and Mr. Yi